Okay, hello. This is going to be a pretty brisk yoga one, and we're going to really try to kind of get the lead out. This is something that's going to move a little bit more quickly, but it's not going to be like a ton of chaturangas or deep binds or anything like you would see in a yoga 2. So let's begin seated, and if you can sit on your heels, then you can sit this way or cross-legged is fine as well. And we're actually going to begin in a breath exercise called the Kapalabhati breath. And this is a nice way to just build a little bit of heat, build a little bit of a spark in the belly, and revitalize your whole energy. So if you've never done it before, I recommend taking a hand onto your abdomen just above your navel. And this way you'll be able to feel the movement of the diaphragm. This is a kind of pumping, toning of the diaphragm. It'll be through the nose, or if you're congested, you could also do it through your teeth, like that. And the inhale is passive, so you don't even need to think about the inhale at all. When you expel the breath, it creates a vacuum. The inhale will come naturally. So you'll just think exhale, 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 something like this. Like this. And if you get lightheaded, slow it down, come back to long, deep breath. We'll do somewhere around 100 pumps. You can start slow and then build up speed as you become more comfortable with this. Okay, so perhaps one hand onto the belly, or if you're more familiar with this, the hands can just be in the lap. We'll begin with a full breath all the way in and out. So inhale deeply. Exhale all your breath out. Okay, inhaling about 3/4 of the way. And begin. So you can close the eyes if you like, keep going. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Big breath in. Big breath out. And then with the eyes closed, just long, deep breathing. Just observe what you feel. And then blinking the eyes open, we'll rest the fingertips onto the tops of the shoulders. We're just going to do some circles with our elbows. Long deep breaths here. You can exhale as the elbows come towards one another. And then inhale as the elbows go up and then back together and down. So we're trying to find the fullest range of motion, the largest circles that you can draw through space with those elbows. And the fingers on the tops of the shoulders can serve as a reminder to keep the sides of the neck relaxed. So we're not going to scrunch the shoulders up to the ears too much. Mostly what we want to engage is the muscles in the chest and then the muscles in the back. And we'll do one more like that. Good, and then we'll make our way onto all fours. Okay, so setting up your wrists right under your shoulders, knees right under your hips. We'll tuck the toes under to come into cow, draw the shoulder blades down the back. The neck stays long, that's the inhale. And then on your exhale, tops of the feet press into the floor, tuck your tail under, press into the hands and gaze to the navel. Okay, and then finding your own rhythm, warming up the spine. Exhaling deeply and completely as you round. Inhaling. Lengthen, open the heart. You can practice that Ujjayi breath, so it's an audible breath. Okay, then coming back to your neutral spine. From here, we'll take the right leg back behind us, and this is going to be our inhale. And then on the exhale, point the toe and knee tucks into the chest. Inhale, reach. And really exhale completely. Draw your navel to your spine. Inhale, reach, engage the glute. Exhale, tuck. Inhale, reach. Exhale, tuck. Reach one more time, and now reaching the opposite arm forward, lengthening along that diagonal. Lift the thumb towards the ceiling, the next stays soft. And releasing back down. Let's go to the second side, reaching the leg back behind you. The foot is flexed. This is our inhale. Nice wide collarbones here, triceps drawn in. And then pointing the toe, rounding the spine. And I really want you to feel that you're drawing your belly back towards your spine here. Inhaling, reach. Exhale, completely tuck. Two more. Exhale, tuck. Using the glute to lift the heel. Exhale, tuck. And then reaching out. Nice strong belly. Reach the opposite arm forward. Thumb lifting towards the ceiling. Long, deep breath. And then releasing back down. Nice. Let's sit back to a child's pose. Walk your arms out long. Let this be an active child's pose so the elbows are lifted up off of the mat. And if you like, you can come up onto your fingertips so that you can hollow the palms and the armpits away from the ground a little bit. And just get that sense of the shoulder blades going back and down, but your spine dropping down towards the floor. Okay, let's take downward facing dog. So plant the hands, tuck the toes, and press back. So we're still having that sense of lift through the arms. So rather than pressing your armpits towards the feet, actually keep your arms a little bit lifted, a little bit buoyant. So press into your fingers. And then let your upper back move towards your feet rather than the armpits. Okay, and then we're going to slide forward to a plank pose. And if you need to adjust the distance between your hands and your feet, go ahead and do that. So thighs are strong, tailbone reaching towards the heels. The collarbone's nice and wide. Reach the crown of the head long, straight out in front of you. Okay, and then inhale here and exhale, downward facing dog. Inhaling plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Just warming up those shoulders. Two more. Inhale, plank. Exhale, down dog. And last one. Inhale, plank. Exhale, down dog. Good. And then we'll walk the feet up towards the hands, coming to a standing forward fold. And if you need to shake out the hands or roll the wrists here, feel free to do that. Let the weight of the head drop. And then bend the knees, push into your feet. Sweep the arms out and up overhead. Big breath in. And exhale, hands to heart. All right, finding your Tadasana, your mountain pose. The feet should be parallel, hip width apart. Drop your tailbone, lift the navel in and up. And we'll bring the arms out and up overhead, interlacing the fingers, but the index fingers point straight up. Using that grip to draw the biceps back towards your ears. Okay, keep your navel drawn in. Press into both feet, come up and over. Okay, then we're going to inhale to center and exhale over. And keep going like this. Inhale. So the legs are strong. Make sure you keep that tailbone dropping down. Moving with the breath. And we'll do one more set. Okay, come on back up. Release the hands to the heart. Nice, and then interlacing the hands behind the back. Start to squeeze the elbows towards one another, so nice strong upper back here. And then if it's possible for you to begin straightening the elbows a little bit, go ahead and do that. Lift the chest nice and tall. And then folding forward, you can bend your knees. As you fold, do your best to keep your shoulders away from your ears. So you're trying to squeeze the upper back. And then releasing the hands to the floor, step back to your plank pose, and then lower down to your belly. And point the toes back, tops of the feet on the floor, tailbone reaches to the heels, lift to your cobra, and again we're drawing those elbows in. Lift up nice and tall, and exhale, lower. Make sure you keep the legs active, reach long through the tailbone. Inhale to cobra, and exhale down. Let's do two more. Really draw those elbows in close by your sides. And if you feel this a lot in the low back, do a smaller curl just for the upper back here. And now this time as you come up, we're going to press back to child's pose. Hips drawing back towards the heels. And just let your lower back rest. Breathing into the side body. Okay, and then we're going to take a modified Chaturanga here. So spread the fingers wide. The knees are going to stay on the floor, and the toes can either rest on the ground or they can float, whatever is best for you. We're just going to take a tiny little tricep push-up. So widen your collarbones, bring the shoulder blades away from the ears, tops of the shoulders away from the ears. Okay. We're just going to bring the elbows a tiny bit in towards your waist. You don't need to go very low. And then press back up. That's an inhale. And exhale to child's pose. Okay, just three more like that. Inhale, keep your neck long. Exhale, tiny little push-up. Press back up and back. So what I don't want you to do is drop your shoulders down. Instead, I want you to keep the chest nice and wide. Keep the elbows tucked in. Okay, and then let's let this be our last one. Inhale forward, just a little push-up here. And then resting in child's pose. Deep breath here. Downward facing dog, stretch back. Lengthening from the hands to the hips. And walk the feet to the hands. Bend your knees, rise up to standing, and hands to the heart. Okay, so again, we're going to come into some core work here. So what we're going to do is have a slightly wide stance, wider than hip width, and we're going to take our hands to a kind of cactus shape here. We're going to shift our weight over into the left foot, and we're going to do two kind of cross-body crunches. So you're bringing your knee towards your elbow, maybe you can touch, and then we just touch the right toe out to the side and tap again. Okay, then we shift weight, coming over to the other side. So we tap together, and then we're not stepping down onto that foot, we're just tapping the toe, and we're gonna crunch across the body and switch, okay? So let's do that with the breath, and we're gonna have the essence of that Kapalabhati, that, right? Okay, so inhaling center, exhale, again, okay, and switch. So 2 taps each side. great for the digestion. Try to keep the shoulder blades down the back, relax the tops of the shoulders. Good, and last one here. Okay, coming back to that cactus shape, and release the arms down by the sides. Good. All right, bring your feet back to parallel. Let's take another flow. Sweep the arms over the head on your in-breath. Exhale, swan dive, folding forward. Flat back position, so come up onto the fingertips, stretch the chest forward, and then bend the knees, hands to the floor. Step back to your plank pose. Okay, and you can either go right to down dog or lower. The knees come down, lower down to your belly. Exhale. Point the toes back, strong legs, little cobra. And downward facing dog. Nice. You walk your feet forward to your hands. Bending the knees, strong legs rise up to standing. And bringing your hands into your heart. All right, now we're going to flow down for a warrior one. So arms over the head, big breath in, and exhale, fold. We're going to step our right foot back, and that back foot's going to come down flat to a 45-degree angle. Okay, and we have heel to heel alignment from front to back, or a little wider. We're going to come on up to that warrior one position. So press back into the outer edge of that back foot. You're going to turn your hips towards square. And let's take the hands behind the back, interlacing the fingers, squeeze elbows towards one another, and stretch the knuckles towards the back heel, all the while keeping the navel drawn in. Good. And then sweeping the arms up and overhead, and bringing the hands down to the mat. Let's step the back foot forward, and just switch sides. Left foot reaches back, the back foot goes flat to the mat. Let's come on up, warrior one. So nice and strong through that back foot. We want to bring that pinky edge down onto the floor. And we're dragging this right hip back a little bit, moving towards square, towards the front of the room. Take your hands behind you and cross the opposite thumb on top that you haven't been going for. Squeeze the shoulder blades together and maybe begin straightening the elbows. And see if you can balance that openness in the chest with a little bit of containment here in the belly. Good. Release the arms forward and up overhead, and release the hands to the mat. Step that back foot forward and fold. Good. Bend the knees, rising up to stand. And hands to the heart. Good. And again, sweeping up. Folding forward. Right foot steps back again, warrior one. Come on up. And we're going to take our hands to a cactus shape, okay? And in this shape here, we're going to do a little bit of this rotation from the waist. And we won't go far because the back foot is staying sealed down. If you were to come up onto the ball of the foot, you would be able to twist more, but you'd also be a little precarious in your knees. And I want you to actually have that stability. So it's just going to be a little twist from the waist here, using that Kapalabhati breath. So make sure your navel's drawn in and up. Okay, this is going to be our inhale, and then exhale, twist to the left. Two more. Good, and that's it. Take your arms over the head and fold forward, stepping the right foot forward and the left foot back. Warrior one, cactus arms. And even though the elbows are lifted up, we're trying not to scrunch the shoulders to the ears. Try to keep those shoulder blades dropping down the back. Find the strength in the legs. Okay, and just 3 little twists here. Inhale, center. Exhale, a little puff. Good, and then taking the hands back to the floor, step your back foot forward. Rising to stand. Inhale up. Exhale, hands to the heart. Okay, and we're going to do another variation from that warrior one stance. So right foot goes back once again, warrior one, so rising up. We're going to take our hands to that cactus shape, and this time we're going to squeeze our elbows towards one another. So inhale, exhale, squeeze. Inhale, open. Exhale, squeeze. Inhale, open. Exhale, squeeze. And then we're just going to interlace our hands, little fists, and make some figure eights. So we're kind of clearing out the wrists here. Staying strong in the legs. Switch directions for that figure eight. That can be a good kind of mental coordination exercise. And then take the arms forward and up over the head. Really press into that back leg and hands to the mat. Switching sides. The right foot steps forward. The left foot goes back. Back foot's at a 45. Find that warrior one and then open into that cactus shape. So 4 times we're going to press back and then squeeze forward. Using the breath here. Exhale, squeeze. Inhale, open. Exhale, squeeze. Keep pressing to that back foot. And this is our last one here. So interlace with the opposite thumb on top. Try to keep your forearms together if you can. Relax your jaw. Continue to figure eight here. And this doesn't need to be too quick. You can go slower. Whatever feels good in your wrists here. Okay, and then see if you can put that figure eight in reverse. Stay strong in your belly, navel to spine. Press into that back leg. Good, and then hands by your sides. Let's sweep arms forward and up overhead. And hands to the mat. Step your back foot forward. Just forward fold here for a moment. Take another big exhale here, dropping down. Okay, and then bending the knees, rise to stand. And hands to the heart. Good. So now we're going to come to a warrior two. So fold forward. We're going to step that right foot back, this time as if you're on a balance beam. You have heel to arch alignment. And leading with that right arm, we're going to come up and around. So now we're turning our chest to the side. We want to keep that front knee pointing straight forward over that front toe. So there's this tendency for it to fall in. Keep opening that knee out to the side. And this sense of pressing into the pinky edges of the feet can often help. Helps you to zip up through the inseams and the low belly as well. So find your nice low lunge. If your knee is coming past that front ankle, widen out your stance so you can get nice and low with the front shin vertical. Long, deep breath, feeling nice and strong. And then we're going to take a side angle. So bringing that front elbow to the front knee and sweep that top arm up and over the ear. Keep breathing. Okay, and we're going to add some back strokes. So inhale, open, and then exhale, reach that right hand towards the front up over your head. Inhale, and exhale, reach. Inhale, open, turning the torso along with that arm. And we'll do one more like this. Now bringing that right hand to the floor, and we're going to heel toe that left foot out to the left, and we're going to rotate so that we can come onto the pinky edge of the right foot. And take the left arm up to the sky. We're in a modified side plank here, Shavasana. Push down into the fingers of that right hand, lift the bottom hip away from the floor. Good, and then release the hands to the floor. Now step that left foot back so you find your plank pose. Inhale. Exhale, lower, taking your knees down, lower to your belly. Point the toes back. Let's take this little cobra pose. And exhale, downward facing dog. Remembering to press into your fingers will take the pressure out of the wrists when we're bearing weight in the arms. Okay, walk your feet to your hands, forward fold. And bending the knees a bit as you come to standing. Sweeping up and hands to heart. Let's do that warrior two sequence on the second side. So folding forward, step the left foot back. We have heel to arch alignment and then come on up and around. Big turnout from this right hip. You want to make sure this knee is going straight forward. Long, deep breathing. Pressing into the pinky edges. The big toe mounds stay down, but the inner arches lift. Almost like you have suction cups on your feet. Get nice and wide in your stance, nice and low in the hips. Okay, and then side angle, the elbow rests on the knee. Nice little modification here. Just stretch that top arm up and over the ear. I'm going to keep the tailbone reaching to the back heel so the lower belly is nice and strong. Okay, and then adding some back strokes. That left arm sweeps up and back. And then exhale, reach up over your head. With the breath, one more time. And then bringing that left hand all the way to the floor, we're going to open to that modified side angle. So heel toe the right foot off to the right. We're going to pivot onto the pinky edge of the left foot and bring that right under the sky. Really pressing into the fingers of that standing hand. Lift the bottom hip up away from the floor. You're nice and strong through the sides of the waist. And then release the right hand down. Good. Find your way into your plank. Inhaling, nice wide chest. Exhale, the knees come down, lower to your belly. Squeeze those elbows in as you take your little cobra. And then exhale, downward facing dog, or if you need a rest, take child's pose. Good. And then from downward dog, walk your feet forward to your hands, folding in. And then bend the knees, rise up to standing. Bring the hands into the hearts. Okay, flowing again, arms over the head. Folding forward. Let's step our right foot back. And this time we're going to let that back knee come down to the mat. Bring the top of the back foot to the floor. And we'll take a low lunge here, low crescent. So dropping the tailbone a lot. Bring the belly in and up. And we're going to go for a little more back bend than we might usually. Because we're plenty warm now, hopefully. So take the armpits back, take the thumbs back, and feel that you can drop the shoulder blades down the back as you lift the heart. Keep lifting the heart like you're trying to look to the ceiling with your chest. And then releasing the hands back down. Let's step to our plank, inhaling there, exhaling lower. Knees can come down, lower to your belly. Elbows in, lift. Exhale, down dog. Okay, and then let's see if we can step forward with that right foot. So take the right leg up to the sky for your three-legged. And then tuck the knee into the chest. See if you can step the foot all the way up between the hands. And feel free to take several steps if you need to. Once you're ready, bring the top of the back foot to the floor, and we'll come up to that low crescent. Now we should be on our second side. So before we curl into our spine, we want to make sure we have the hips really square. We have the navel drawing in and up. And then we start to take the armpits back. So think of the spine is still moving forward, but the arms are moving back. And then as you start to drop the shoulder blades down, they can scoop the heart up. One more big breath there. And release the hands to the mat. We're going to step the back foot forward this time. Forward fold. And then bending the knees, rise to stand. And hands to heart. And again, inhale, reach it up. Exhale, fold. Let's step back with our left foot first this time. Good. And then we're going to plant the left hand down and take the right arm to the sky. So now this time, I'd like you to keep up on the ball of the back foot. We're trying to twist here. So rather than letting this left hip drop down, I want you to really float this left hip up. So your hips stay square. And then with that, press the bottom hand into the floor and take the top shoulder blade back. So you get a little more rotation at the waist. Okay, we'll release that top hand down. Step to plank, inhale, and lower. Knees come down, lower to your belly. Point the toes back strong, legs tail to heels, cobra. And downward dog. And then we'll try it on the other side, that big step forward. So left leg lifts up, 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 up. And then tucking the knee into the chest, see if you can step the foot between the hands. Take several steps if you need. We're going to keep the back leg lifted and strong. Plant the right hand down, take the left arm up. And notice right away if you're starting to come into that like modified Vashi that we did before. Instead, we want to float the right hip up away from the ground. Okay, sometimes it helps to push into the front foot a little more. And then push into the bottom hand as you open into your twist. And we're going for that rotation in the spine. Nice, and then we'll release the top hand down. This time we'll just step the back foot forward, folding in. And then bending the knees a bit, rise to stand. Inhale as you come up and bring the hands to the heart. Okay, and again, arms over the head. We'll fold forward. And now what we're going to do is step both feet back to our plank, and we're going to try Wild Thing. So this is going to come from our side plank here. Big toes come together. Let's bring our left hand in right under our nose, and we're going to roll onto the outer edge of that left foot. Okay, open up. And the top foot is going to step back behind you. So you're on the ball of the foot, and we lift the tailbone up and into the body. And if you'd like, you can reach the right arm long by your ear. So the right bicep moves back towards your ear. Keep pressing into the bottom hands. Nice back bend, lift the hips. And then release. We'll go on to the second side. So roll, open, stay strong. Keep your breath. Okay, and then the top foot steps behind you, just onto the ball of the foot. Bring the tailbone into the body, so long through the lower back. Start to lift the hips, and then maybe bring the left bicep back by the ear. Coming into more of a back bend. Big breath in. And release. Take both hands to the mat. Inhale there. Exhale, lower to your knees. Take a little rest in child's pose. Well done. Okay. Downward facing dog. Walk feet to hands. And fold in. Bend the knees, rise to standing, sweeping the arms overhead. Hands come into the heart. All right. So now we have another kind of core strengthening work to do. It's a balance. We're going to stand on our left foot. We're going to sweep the right knee up with the arms, and then just bring the hands into the heart and kick back through that heel straight behind you. Inhale, come back up, and then hands by your sides on the exhale. Standing on the right foot, left knee comes in. Bring the hands to the heart, kick back through the heel. Inhale up, and then land. So switching sides again, lifting up, show you the side view here. Exhale, kick it back. Inhale up, and land. And again, sweeping up, tipping forward. Hips are staying square here. And land. Let's do one more set. Maybe you can drop down through the chest a little more, lift the heel towards the ceiling. Inhale back up and land. This is our last one here. Lifting up, kicking back. Maybe you can tip a little further. Come back up and land. Good. Stand tall, drop the tail. Long, deep breath. Standing on the left foot, let's grab the right ankle for a quadricep stretch. And then either staying here or you can reach the free arm up and start to kick back for dancer. Come on back upright. And we'll release and switch sides. Standing strong, pressing down through that standing leg. Tailbone dropping, the belly drawn in and up. Feel free to stay here or reach the free arm up. And then as you kick back, you hinge forward. Keep the hips pretty square here. Lower belly drawn in. And then come on back upright and we'll gently release the feet to the floor. Okay, great. So now we're going to make our way to a wide-legged forward fold. So taking the toes in, heels out, and we'll interlace the hands behind the back the unusual way. So notice which is the habitual way and switch it. Elbows squeeze together, stretch up through the chest, and fold forward. And you might keep quite a bit of a bend in the knees here. Maybe you can stretch the knuckles towards the ceiling. Try to keep the shoulders away from the ears. And release the hands to the hips. Make sure the knees are a bit bent as you rise back up. Good. All right, let's come down to seated, and we'll take Shavasana. So extend the left leg long out in front. Draw the right foot into the inner thigh. We'll turn the torso towards the straight leg, lifting up tall. And exhale, fold. Stay here and breathe. Try to draw back through the hips, lift up through the heart. And come on back up. We'll switch sides. The right leg long, the left leg folded in. Turn a bit. Lift up nice and tall. Try to keep that length through the spine as you tip forward from the hips. And come on back up. We'll switch sides again. The left leg out long. Bring the right foot up and over. And then hugging around the right knee with the left elbow. Let's bring the right hand just behind the back. Lift up nice and tall. Inhale. And on your exhale, twist a little deeper. Again, inhaling, lift up. Exhaling to twist. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to twist. And back to center. We'll switch sides. The right leg long, the left leg up and over. Hugging around the knee with your elbow. One hand behind you comes in pretty close, helps you to sit up tall. Inhaling, lengthen up. And exhale, twist a bit deeper. And stay with these long, deep breaths. Good. And come on to face forward. Let's stretch the legs out long in front, and we'll flex the feet. We're going to take a simple forward fold, lift up nice and tall, and then crawl the fingers forward. So no need to flop down, just keep that lift of the chest. Draw the pinky toes back, the feet are flexed. Think of plugging the thigh bones back into the hip sockets. Good, and then come on up. So now our last core exercise here will be Navasana, or boat pose. Let's take the hands to the backs of the knees, and we're going to inhale to lift here. And then exhale, tailbone tucks under. Feel your belly draw in. Inhale, lifting up. And exhale, tuck the tail under. And again, lifting up. Feel how you come up onto your two sits bones. And then exhale, you're back onto your tailbone. And again, lifting. And exhale. So keep your belly drawn in, and now try to lift up onto the sits bones while keeping your belly strong. And from there, you might be able to hover, feet off the floor, maybe lift the shins to parallel with the floor. If that's okay for you, you can do it without the help of the hands. Make sure your abdominals are working here, navel to spine, and then release the feet back down onto the ground. Okay, now we're going to roll down the back. So again, the tail tucks under. We're going to try and come down onto our back. Nice and slow. I'm going to go this way. You're going to make sure you have space behind you. Slow as you can, slow as you can. Ooh. And then finally laying down onto your back. Okay, so we'll take a little back bend here. So place the feet on the floor, hip width apart, and parallel. So make sure your toes are not turned out to the side for this one. Bringing the hands to the floor beside your hips. And then draw the belly in, the lower back draws onto the ground. Start to peel the spine up off the floor, tailbone first. So tailbone lifts, sacrum lifts, then vertebra by vertebra we start to lift up, up, up. Okay, either stay right here or maybe interlace the hands behind the back and walk the triceps in towards one another for bridge pose. Pressing into the fists and the feet. Lift the heart. Walk the shoulders back out, rolling back down the spine. Nice, and then hug the knees into the chest. And rock side to side to soothe those lower back muscles. All right, and then we'll come into our figure four, so let the left foot down onto the floor, and we'll cross the outer right ankle onto the top of the left knee. Go ahead and flex that right foot, press the right knee out and away from your face. And you can stay there or lift the left foot off the ground, holding the back of the thigh. And gently draw in. One more deep breath here. And we'll switch sides. Just rinsing through those hips. And as we start to slow down our practice, keep the breath nice and full. Energy circulating inside the body, refreshing any places that were a little stuck. Good. And then draw both knees into the chest. Let's take Happy Baby to finish. So hold on to the outer edges of the feet if you can reach, or hold on to the shins. Take the knees wide, and then draw the knees towards the floor beside your ribs. Relax the shoulders, just letting the arms hang here. And we'll gently release the feet to the floor and stretch the legs out long on the mat for Shavasana. Take a moment to turn the palms to face up. Walk your shoulder blades in under your back and let the legs stretch out long. And take a few deep breaths here, inhaling completely. And with your exhale, really let your body drop into the earth. Letting everything go. One more big breath here. Softening with the exhale. And then just let your breath flow naturally. It doesn't need to be particularly deep. We're going to finish with a meditation that helps us to spread our attention throughout the body more evenly. So first, let's feel all the places where our body is in contact with the ground. So we're noticing the space behind us, the back body. And as you relax and release tension from the body, maybe a little more of your body can come into contact with the ground. Backs of the shoulder blades. and then bringing your awareness to the front of your body, all the places that are open to the sky, palms, the face, the chest and belly, fronts of the legs. And then back to the back body. Back to the front body. Now feeling both the back and the front of your body at one time. See if you can notice them equally. Your awareness will become a little subtler. Let's do the same thing from right to left. So feeling the whole right side of the body, space to your right. Space to the left. Space to the right. Space to the left. And then feeling sensations in both the right and left part of your body equally. Feeling your awareness widen. Okay, and then from the top to the bottom of your body. So bringing your awareness down into the hips, the legs, and feet. Relaxing the lower part of the body, just feeling what's there. And then the upper body, upper torso, neck and shoulders, the face, the head. Back down through the legs, feet, lower body. Moving your awareness back up through the hips, the belly, arms, chest and shoulders, neck, head. Good. Back down again. And now see if you can feel all the way from the top of your head to the soles of the feet. Feel all of it all at once. Let your energy, let your awareness be open to all of this experience. And then last one here, we're going to feel inside the body. Notice sensations inside of you, the muscles, the bones, the belly, the lungs. Relaxing any tension you notice. And then spreading out so that you can feel the skin, feel the air and the clothing. Noticing the space around you. Again, feeling the inner body. And then feeling the surface of the body. Atmosphere around the body. And see now if you can let your attention and awareness permeate both the inner and outer space. And just relax with this wide open awareness for a few more breaths. Start to deepen your breathing slowly, almost as if all of your parts could receive this breath. Letting the breath into the back and front body, right and left. Nice deep breath as though it could fill all the way from the head to the toes, up to the fingertips. Refreshing all the space within and around you. One more big breath in, and all the way out. And when you're ready, let's roll over to our right side. No hurry, make your way to a seated position. We'll close the practice, bringing our hands into our heart. Close the eyes. May this practice help us to feel more refreshed. May this practice help us to know everything that we hold inside of us and to bring that out. Thank you for practicing with me. Namaste.